Okay. All right. So, doTERRA family, thank you for joining us today. We have the very special treat of bringing on one of my favorite guys, the Perry Baker. He's pulling up for doTERRA. One time for the one time. Perry, how we doing today?
Wonderful, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Appreciate you, taking the time to be with us today. Um, and really, guys, getting to know Perry, he's very humble, right? And he's not the type to give himself an introduction, but I'm gonna do that for him right now. Perry Baker, remember the name. If you don't know the name already, he's absolutely taken the world by storm since he's joined the U.S. national rugby team. Okay, he's one of the biggest names in the world when it comes to rugby sevens. Now he joined the U.S. national team in 2014, and just in his first season, he scored about 48 tries. And if you're not familiar with rugby, 48 tries is about the equivalent to 48 touchdowns in American football. But check this out. The very following season, he operated or he actually produced 57 tries. Okay, and that was more than anybody else in the world, which granted him the prestigious award of World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year. Now, there's a ton of accomplishment. He's part of the World Series Dream Team. Um, but his biggest accomplishment is probably being able to represent the red, white, and blue as he walked through the tunnels of the Rio Stadium in 2016. But guess what? That wasn't it. He just came back where he represented the U.S. national team on the big Olympic stage in 2020 or Tokyo, not too long ago. And so we are very excited to have him here today. He's taken the U.S. Rugby Eagles team, that's the team mascot, to levels that they've never soared before. See what I did there, Perry?
I like it, man. I
Yeah,
like. I can have you introduce me anytime.
I'm here. I'm here for it. But again, all jokes aside, Perry, we appreciate you making time to be with us today. For folks getting to know you for the very first time, let's start from the beginning. Where's home for you, Perry?
First of all, I just want to say it's an honor to be here. So thank you guys for having me. But I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. I grew up in a small town right outside of Daytona, which was New Smyrna Beach. And then as a teenager, I moved to Daytona Beach. So Florida is my home, and
Florida's home.
now I currently live here in San Diego, California.
Okay, all right. So you love, it's safe to say that you love the sunny areas, right?
Oh, I
You got to
enjoy
be
it.
close to the
I
beach.
enjoy it. Yeah, man. The beach. It's all about good vibes, man.
I feel it. Yes. So talk to us about your family, wife, kids.
Yeah, I have a wife. I've been married now 2.5 years. I have two sons. One's 17 and another's 10. And they both play sports, baseball, basketball, and one of them is about to now try and play football. So, and then
Ooh,
the other one told me he wants to play rugby too and be an Olympian. So we'll see what happens with that one.
let's go. Let's go. Well, they got a great example. And
Appreciate
again, I
that.
got to say this. We appreciate your time. School, I imagine, is starting up, and it sounds like they'll be really busy, and we
Sure.
just really appreciate you being here with us. Now, Perry, there's a famous saying amongst basketball players that ball is life, and
Mm-hmm.
if we were to transition that to, our situation right now, rugby is life,
For
right? And that
sure.
basically means it's everything. You sleep, eat, drink rugby, but rugby wasn't always part of your picture. It wasn't always part of your plans, correct?
Correct. Not at all, man. I grew up playing football. Like my whole background was football. I had an uncle who played in the NFL for 13 years. I had a brother who played in the NFL for 3 years. So I
Oh,
just knew of football and I just wanted to play football. And my reasoning behind that was I just wanted to be on a big stage so I can inspire and help people. That was my whole reasoning. Not
love
knowing
that.
God's whole plan was your stage is going to be bigger. Like by playing rugby, I get to travel the world, and not just be like in the U.S., So it was just football is my dream, and then I ended up transitioning to rugby. I dreamed of being an Olympian, and that's where we are now today.
It's funny how things work out, right?
It is, man. It's never on our time, never our plan. It took me a while to figure that one out because you never know what happens when you're trying to do your own thing, and it doesn't work, and then you just start trusting God and everything just start happening for you.
Love that. Love that. And we certainly are grateful that you joined rugby, right? That's like you said, it's taken you around the world. It's connected us, right? We're connected to doTERRA,
Correct.
and you're a performance advocate. And so
I love it.
you know what I mean? And just for those that are not familiar with the program, the Performance Advocate program is a brand ambassador program where doTERRA proudly partners with these top level athletes and performers who share the same belief as us in terms of empowering, enhancing your well-being. And so these top level athletes talk about their experience. You can see your Instagram page on just the different products you use to stay in tip-top shape, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm. I mean,
And Perry,
go ahead.
sorry. No, I was going to say rugby's a demanding sport. I mean, you literally walk away feeling wrecked, right?
Oh, all the time, man. All the time. When you said it earlier, man, when rugby's everything, it is everything. Breathe, eat, sleep, wake up, do it again, you know? So, and you only get one body, so you got to take care of it. And I'm just so grateful
Amen.
for the doTERRA and just the way that they support me and also my teammates. If you see that picture there, it's like, hey, that was right before we going to Tokyo. And, you know, we needed everything we can have to try and be at our best. And, hey,
Hey, I love it.
and helped us out with that, you know, and it's all about the well-being. Like I said, you know, we beat our bodies up, and it's all about recovery, and so we can continue to compete and be at that high level to do it again and again.
And you're doing it at that high level for such a long time. Now that we've hit on products, talk to me. What are some of the products that you use to stay in that tip-top shape?
Oh my gosh, from everything, man. I mean, when I was in Tokyo, I mean, I always had in my room, like constantly going, I had a diffuser. I'll switch them up from wintergreen to arise to motivate to elevation, just to uplift the mood and just keep that good sense of vibe and stuff going. And then like, as far as like taking care of the body, I mean, I broke my leg here in February, and I was using Correct X all the time, you know, to try and get the scar in here. I have like a 10-inch scar on my leg, and then I of course always have to use the On Guard and the frankincense, you know, just because I travel so much. So that's one of them. I use the Roman chamomile. What else? Tea tree. I used the adaptive a lot when I was in Tokyo, just to try and keep the tension down from the anxiety building up, man. And then lavender, of course, you know, that good rest, you know, good rest and a good sense of feeling, you know. So I was all around with a little bit of everything, man. I was dabbling with it all, man. Just trying to be at my best. And then whenever it's time to play, whenever it's time to run, get active, anything, the Deep Blue Rub is a must.
Right. Facts.
It's a must.
Facts. I'm telling you. What I love about that, Perry, is typically when we ask our athletes, what are some of your favorite products, the first thing that they mention is Deep Blue, right?
Yeah.
Which is a given. It's a
Yeah.
must. It's a centerpiece. But I
Mhm.
love the fact that you've talked about a wide variety of things. You mentioned elevation, adaptive, addressing your mental well-being.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So your Olympic experience, talk to us. Like how was it being there amongst these top athletes from around the globe? Like, was that just a life, like you waited all your life? How was that experience to us?
Man, it was a humbling experience for number one for the Olympics to happen, and then just to be a part of. You know, like I just said, I broke my leg in February and tore my ankle up, and then it was just a grind to get back. So just being part of it was just an honor in itself, and just so humbling to be a part of it. And it was just so cool, man. Just have everyone in one village going for the same thing. It's been so friendly, being able to talk to people about their sports, what they're doing, different things. Like, it was just so cool. And then just like being with your boys in and day out, and then just being able to go to this tournament and to the Olympics rather, and be together and just enjoy, just make memories, man. It's all about making those memories and having fun together. And it was just fun. Just being in the village was fun. They had so much stuff for us to do with having game rooms and things like that. So it was really, really cool. And every experience is different. From 2016 to this one is just totally different. It was pretty cool though, all the way around. Though it's something that you would never be able to dream of how it actually can be, you know. And it was cool just to be there.
I love that. I can imagine. Now we're watching a little clip of you doing what you do, and it just shows a lot of people trying to catch you, which they can't, right?
I'll be trying. That's all. I just be out there trying.
But it makes sense why they call you the speed stick, because nobody is touching you, my man. You might as well write bye-bye on the back of your cleats and tell them, read that, right? Look at that.
Hey, man, when you're not the biggest, man, you got to have something else to get away from those big guys.
Yeah. Okay. So, Perry, you know, a lot of a lot of our doTERRA family, right? The majority of our wellness advocates and customers, they're predominantly women, right? And
Okay,
for the
yeah.
guys that are involved, it usually starts with, well, my wife was involved and, you know, she kept coming home with these different things that were smelling awesome. And then I decided to try it. But yours is a little bit different. You had to convert your wife, right?
Sure did. Sure
Talk to
did.
us about that.
Oh my goodness. So I was telling, so every time she see me, I have all these different oils and I'm using them. I'm like, babe, like she gets sick, I'm never sick. Like the kids get sick, I'm never sick, and I'm around them all the time. So I'm like, I'm telling you, start using the oils to take care of your body, your immune system, everything. Build it up so you can fight these things off. So I remember one time, like she like when it's so hot and it's dry, she get nosebleeds really bad. So this is how I convinced her. So I remember one time I was playing rugby and two guys collided and one on split his eye open and he was bleeding and he used the helichrysum to stop the bleeding. So I'm like, hey, I got something for you. So I said, take a little bit of this, like 2 drops on the tissue, and stick it up your nose, and it'll stop the bleeding. She didn't believe me. She's like, nothing I've used. I've been to the doctor. Nothing they can do. Nothing. They just said whenever it's dry out and it's hot, this is what's gonna happen. So I gave it a helichrysum, and lo and behold, boom, the bleeding stopped. And she was just like in awe from that moment. So then it's like, hey, I need helichrysum all the time, just to have it in my purse, have it in the car, wherever I go, that she trusted. So then it's like, okay. So I come home one day, she got the diffusers going. So she started buying into the diffuser with the oils. And the next thing I know, I'm like, she's telling me she have a stomach ache. So I have her to try peppermint. And next thing you know, she sold on it. So now when my son gets sick, she's in there using all the different oils. So she sold on it now. I told her, hey, don't take long. Hey, luckily I care about you because I have to share this with you.
Yeah, facts, facts. I mean, we see your Instagram right here, Perry. So I noticed the question that somebody asked. What is your Instagram handle? You want to shout that out real quick?
Yeah, it's P Baker 11.
And I love it because you're always talking about the product. I mean,
For sure.
I haven't seen you run up like this hill. I imagine it was in San Diego, but you had I want to say a wellness kit in your hand, and you was running up in the camera,
Oh
draped
yeah.
out in the.
Yeah, everywhere I go, I always have my travel kit bag with me. Because I never know when I'm gonna need it. Like I remember one time I have my own personal camps down in Encinitas, and I remember one time it was a little girl that came and she actually flew to my camps from Utah, and she was telling me how she just had hamstring issues and whatnot, and she was like, I don't have any of my essential oils. I'm like, what essential oils do you use? I have them. She's like, doTERRA. I'm like, no, you don't. She's like, yeah, I do. I love doTERRA. So I'm like, you know what? I have a kit bag with me right now, and I have something for you. And I had the deep blue rub stick, the touch stick, and she used it on it. It was like, hey, you never know what you need it for, you know. So I always have it on me for anything, for all purpose. But that
Love
was my
that.
Instagram handle right there.
Love that. Love that. And that's really what it is. You know, a lot of times we talk about, this is tough to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To be in this type of business. And I said, no, it's not. If you know it's a quality product, then you're gonna naturally start to share with people. Like
Correct.
naturally. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yep.
Where it's not rehearsed, right? It's not scripted.
Not at
It's
all.
just like you go to what was it? I went to Costco the other day and I got these wasabi almonds. Now, don't
Okay.
get me wrong, it might not sound too good, but bro, these things are fire. Like literally a little bit fire, but like really great tasting. I came home and told like 3 of my neighbors that were outside their house, and instantly they're like, "Oh, let me try it out." And so the whole point of sharing that is, still try those wasabi almonds, but we naturally share what we believe in and what we've tasted and what we've experienced, and you do that at the top level speaks volumes to
Spot
what we're
on.
trying to do with doTERRA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Facts. Facts.
Let me check the questions. I want to make sure we're addressing. I see Aloha from Vineyard, Utah. Hello from Florida. You might know this. Zephyr Hills?
Zephyr Hills, Florida. Yeah.
Okay. You know that.
Of course.
Vancouver. Big rugby
Vancouver.
area, right?
Yes, I love Vancouver Sevens tournament. It's nice stadium at BC Stadium.
Okay. Well, if you have any questions for Perry, chime them in. We'd love to address them. If not, you see his Instagram handle there. Um, One thing I do want to kind of ask you, Perry, is being at this top level, being one of the most dominating sevens players for quite some time.
Hmm.
You've been to two Olympics. Sounds like you're going to go for your third.
Hey,
What what made you choose doTERRA? Like, why doTERRA? You have all these other opportunities with other companies, I imagine.
mhm.
Um, obviously you have the doTERRA gear and the drip. The drip obviously helps,
Of
but
course, the swag. You got to stay fresh now.
you got to stay fresh. But what attracts you to doTERRA? What keeps you here with doTERRA?
One of the biggest things when I first was introduced to doTERRA, because I was having abdomen, I was cramping in the abdomen from being in I was in Colorado in the rugby tournament, and like I think they were lavender on me at the time, and it stopped the cramping like right away. And I was like, "Tell me more about this." I was intrigued instantly because I'm like, I'm an athlete. I want to buy into this stuff. And the biggest thing for me was that it was natural. It was natural. It's pure. It's effective and it's safe. So if all those things are ticked on the box across the board, then I feel like I'm good to go. And just the way that it makes me feel and everything, it's like, why not? So hey, doTERRA all day.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay, I got a question for you, and this is coming from Kelly Bauer Socks. Um, what if you had to pick one? I know it might be a little bit hard, but she's saying, what is your absolute favorite diffusing oil?
Oh my gosh. It's so many, but I'll tell you one that my wife enjoys a lot and that we use a lot is the Citrus Bliss. Citrus
Mm,
Bliss.
that'll light up your room.
It does. It does. I also use like two of them. I combine as like a little like refreshing cologne kind of deal. Like after
Oh,
a long day of training or whatnot, and then like I come home and have to go to like my kids' basketball practice or something, or my wife want to go out to dinner. I will use eucalyptus, um, peppermint, and what is it? Eucalyptus and peppermint. I mix it together. Just rub it on my wrist and on the back of my neck, and it's just a fresh smell and everything. It just smells good. So I'll be walking by people like, man, you smell good. Like, yeah, yeah, I know.
hey, Outcast said it the best. So fresh and so clean.
So fresh and so clean. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's awesome. Another question for you, and this is coming from Lisa Oliveri. How did you get involved with doTERRA products? You kind of started with rugby, but
Yeah.
maybe you can just dive into that for a little bit.
Yeah.
What was your first encounter with the products?
So my first encounter with the products was seeing two people. They hit heads, and one of them started bleeding, and he used helichrysum, and he started telling me a little bit about the oils and whatnot. So like, okay, I didn't think anything of it. It's the first time ever hearing about it. And then the next time I was in a tournament playing in Colorado, and I started cramping really, really, really bad, and I couldn't get it to go away. So they rubbed the lavender and I think the blue. They mixed it together and rubbed it on my abdomen, and it just went away so fast. I'm like, oh my god, like this is unreal. So then, like the guy who I was talking to who gave me this stuff, he's a big doTERRA advocate, and so I had a meeting at his house about the oils and everything, and I just bought into it, and I was like, yo, I'm all for it. Like I said, it's effective, it's safe, it's pure, and it's natural. And just the way everything made me feel and everything. So I just started buying into it, testing them out, seeing how it actually makes me feel. Like I said, I travel the world so much, man. I'm all like every month I'm gone. Every month I'm in another country and I'm meeting people. So with that, I have to have a strong immune system, and I want to be safe, So I just bought into it, and I keep the On Guard for protection and the frankincense.
Let's go. Let's
So
go. Stay on guard with On Guard.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? No, I love that. And for those of you, I think John's been sharing some of the pictures there of our Performance Advocate program. But for more information, there's a whole group of our performance advocates. Again, they're comprised of just our top level athletes with other performers, including Perry Baker. But jump on doTERRA.com, search Performance Advocate, and you'll be able to see some of their story and dive into it a little bit more. But Perry, last thing I'm going to say is we have you coming to convention, right?
Yes, yes. I'm so excited about that. So
Yeah,
excited forward to it.
it'll be fun. We'll also have some more drip for you to sport, right? To
Right on.
wear. Yeah, we'll take care of you,
All
and you'll
right,
be able to
appreciate
meet
that.
a lot more of our doTERRA family from all around the globe. And so we're excited to have you. I want to say we'll catch you at convention, but the truth is nobody can catch you. You know what I mean? So
Hey,
we'll
that's
probably
only on
just
the
see.
pitch, man. It's only when I'm
Just,
on the pitch.
okay. All right. All right.
When I'm
Any
off the
la-
pitch, they call me slow, bro.
Got it. Got it. But we really appreciate you, Perry. We're so proud of what you've been able to accomplish, what you do on the field, but as well as off the field, right?
Thank
That's
you.
really important, doTERRA, is finding somebody who shares our belief with enhancing and empowering wellness, right? And
Right
just
on.
as you so naturally shared, you know this, you believe in it, not only you, but you've converted your wife and your kids,
Yes,
and that's what we try to be, right? So
yes, right on. All about sharing.
awesome. Well, Perry, again, we appreciate your time. Um, check him out on his IG, and for those of you coming to convention, you'll see him in person.
Sound good. Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
All right, Perry, take
All
care.
right. Likewise, brother. See you later.
See you, my man.